Hi guys, this is the first video that I'll be making about the business model for generating revenue by Planky. To understand this video, it's recommended that you take a look at the two videos that I sent you earlier this week, because there are some things explained in those videos that are going to be necessary for you to understand this video. Let's get right into it. All right, so first to talk about generating revenue, we have to first start out with our customers who our customers are. So the questionnaire that I sent you guys last week looks something like this. These are the 3 questions that you guys received from about exercise. And as you can see, we want to ask people, or we at least want to know from people how often they exercise and how often they would like to exercise. And the 2 different answers could be, hey, I want to improve, or 2, I just want to maintain what I already have. So these are the 2 different options that they are: get better or maintain. The third question is designed to understand what they think the biggest obstacle is, because based on that, we'll be able to provide them with content to try solve that problem. So these are the 3 questions that are geared around exercise, the same 3 questions we would have for rest and for sleep, etc. And it just helps us to plot users into groups. So why is that useful? Well, for us to understand what's value for each customer, because at the end of the day, we need to be able to provide value for specific groups of customers, we first need to know where they are and where they want to be. So the group of customers that wants to improve and move from a beginner's level, which is someone who does not exercise, to someone who is in the habit of exercising regularly, we need to know what's the value for that group. We need to know what's the value for the group who already does the minimum required exercise, but now wants to be above average and exercise probably for 40 minutes or for 30 minutes each day, even though the minimum required would be just 20. So this is a very specific group. We need to know what goes on in their mind. We need to know what drives them. We need to know what's value for them in order to help them make this transition. Then there's a group who are already performing above average, right? They're probably working out for 40 minutes each day. They're eating well, they're sleeping well, but they want to move towards perfection. Now, this group is a specific group. We need to get into their minds to understand what drives them and understand if Planky is the app that could add the most value for them. So these are the 3 different types of transitions that could be possible. And what I would love you guys to help me with is to think about these quadrants. Are these quadrants complete? I discussed this earlier this morning with Bram, and I started out with 4 quadrants. And we added a new one, a 5th quadrant, which is now in this sheet. But then I also removed one of the previous quadrants. So now we're back to 4. But I need you to look at this critically and say, hey, are these the 4 different groups that we could categorize people in for rest, for sleep, etc.? Or is there something in between, or is there something missing? Second question that I would like you guys to take a look at is, what do you think value is for taking these steps? So what is value for users who want to transition from quadrant 1 to 2? Okay, I'm going to show you what my assumptions are, but I still need you to think about this. And the third question is, in which of these quadrants can Planky create the most value that you believe? So these are my assumptions for right now. I believe that users that want to make the transition from quadrant 1 to 2, they want motivation, and Planky could provide them that motivation by sharing with them what the benefits are of exercising regularly. Secondly is emotional support. So that's what I call pampering and boosting their confidence. So I'm telling them, hey, you already did this, you're almost there. We're looking at all kinds of statistics that we could help them, that we could pull them over the line. So what drives this category of users, I think, is providing them with motivation and emotional support. Then there's a second group, and I think that the second group's, based on the interviews that I've had so far, people who are already living healthy, what they're really interested in most is learning more, because when they learn more, they're able to stretch their boundaries, and they have that extra drive now to make it to the next level because they understand better how things work inside of their body. They know what to look for. They know how to assess things better. So I believe that this group, they're looking for motivation also, but not in the form of benefits, because they already know why it's good to exercise. They need to find it more in the form of deeper learning and understanding how their bodies are. Think about them or compare them to Olympic athletes. They know they need to run fast. They know they need to eat well. But once they get extra information about how their body's built up and how it works, they're able to do much more with that information than the average person. The third group of user, I think we'll be able to support to a limited extent. And there's a fourth group, which I call the invisible group. And I think that this could be the group of young students who like Planky. It's playful, it's hip, and most importantly, they could learn. So whereas all people probably only want to learn things that they could directly apply, I think that the younger people have this urge, this inner drive to consume and understand things, even though it might be something that they might not use right now. I believe that they have this intrinsic drive to just capture and learn information, statistics. It just gives them a sort of a rush to learn something new. So I call it the invisible group because I'm not building something to cater for them directly, but I think that it could be an interesting group that we have to pay attention and see how they respond to Planky. So without saying, I think in all of these cases, fun and entertainment has to be in place. Okay, so if you take a look at the first group of users, the beginners, I don't think that benefits to grow motivation and emotional support is enough. I think it has to be fun also. So I kind of call fun and entertainment the minimum success factors, whereas the other factors is what I call the critical key factors. So this is the second group of questions that need to be answered. After we understood what each person needs, right? So they need motivation, they need to know the benefits, they need to learn and consume content, right? So this is what they need to make it to the next step. This sheet is about understanding why they want to go there. Why does someone want to create a habit of healthy living? Why does someone want to stretch and go beyond average to increase their exercise, to increase their sleep quality? Why would someone who's already doing it sufficiently want to increase it? And why would someone want to go to quadrant 4 in the first place? They're already above average. What would drive someone to move towards perfection? So for these 4 quadrants, I want to be able to step into the mind of the users to understand what the drives are in order to cluster them based on their needs. So this is a very, very important part of customer development as well. Not just understanding what they need, but really what's the reward for them? Why are they doing it? What is driving them to want it? So this is a important sheet. I want you guys to take a look at it. And if there's any questions about this, let me know, because it's very important that you understand how this works. I discussed it in an earlier PowerPoint presentation this week. Basically, this is letting you know all the different points of data that will be stored in the database, and extra settings, which is number 2. It's going to also include those 11 questions from the survey. In other words, when you look at sleep, exercise, rest, or weight, you'll see what quadrant each user is in. They could be in S1, which means quadrant 1 for sleep, S2, that's quadrant 2, or it could be S4, which is quadrant 4 So this lets you know what the starting point is for each users, and obviously there's going to be one with the ending point. Where do they want to be? So having this data stored in a database helps us to first assess and understand who the users are and what they want, and then we're able to help them get there. All right, so the current Planky view that you know, that's what I call the first and second generation. This view that I'm going to be sharing is the fourth generation Planky app. So in the current version of Planky, users receive content. It's just one direction. The only thing that you can interact with is to like it or dislike it. And it's also very long messages. In the fourth generation version of Planky, it's going to be more like a WhatsApp chat. In fact, it's going to be exactly like a WhatsApp chat. Coaches is going to be able to send you content and you're going to be able to respond. So this is an example of a coach who just sent you a lot of information about vitamin D, and this is one of his last messages. And you have the option to click on show me this product, or thanks for sharing, Travis, or sorry, Travis, but this wasn't really helpful to me. So you clicked on show me this product, and after you clicked on it, you notice that the coach is typing you a response. And this is the response, right? After you told him, show me this product, then Travis Brown said, sure thing, bro. And then here you go. And then he sent an image of the vitamin D. Now, once you see this, you could respond with save to my Planky wish list, or you could click on do not save. If you click on save to the Planky wish list, what you see is that it adds the product to your Planky wish list, along with the other products that are there. And you have several options to buy or to delete it from your wish list. When you click on certain products, you'll see the store that is connected with the product. You'll see what the product name is, and you'll see how it's ranked. So this is the third most important product in your list. Of course, you could drag them up on top if it's more important. So this is the initial Planky wish list. And in the fourth generation, there's going to be lots of different types of products that you could add in this wish list that are related to health. Even gyms, blogs, apps that are free. So you'll be able to access, and you have to see this list like our favorite list. So anything that you read, or any information that you got from your coach that you liked, you could just save it here so you don't forget it, or you could save it here so you could actually probably purchase it at a later point. Then, sorry for choosing these colors. I realized after that it really looks like Microsoft colors, but these are labels. So in the first generation of Planky, it's going to be all about health, but each of these colors is going to be different categories in the future. For example, yellow could be other types of products that are around productivity. Gray could be, or green could be health. Orange could be things that you want to put under the category of clothing or accessories or vacation. So there's going to be probably 4 or 5 different categories besides health. But actually what we're doing is we're actually starting with one category, which is health. So let's just wrap this up by explaining the revenue model. So obviously there's a freemium, right? So each account has an annual subscription fee. Number 2, there's advertising, what I just showed you in this previous slide. We're basically advertising in a very smooth way. And then there's B2B data sets. So when companies give us their database of users, we're able to provide them with useful information to understand who their customers are. And fourthly, there's advertising for non-products. So that's horizontal, which means that it's not just about health anymore. So a quick recap of this presentation. I just explained you what the customer journeys are. So moving from quadrant 1 to 2 to 3, I talked about why it's important. So we need to get in the minds of users to know why they want to make these transitions. I explained you the Planky database and the revenue models. Thanks for watching. Hope that you enjoyed this video and speak to you guys very soon.